Invocation, Pat, Gibson. All right.
First of all, I want to thank you for asking me to come today. And I just, as I was preparing for today, there's a scripture that came to mind, and I want to read it to you. 1 Timothy 2, verses 1 and 2. It says, I exhort, therefore, that first of all, supplications, prayers, intercessions, and giving of thanks be made for all men, for all kings, for all that are in authority, that we may lead a peaceful and quiet life in all godliness and honesty. And every morning, my husband and I pray not only for our nation, but our state and our local leaders. And I'm asking you to join me in that prayer today. Father, we thank you today for this meeting. I thank you for these people that are serving in authority, Father. I thank you that this meeting will be conducted with honesty and integrity. And I thank you, Father God, that peacefulness will reign and rule in our lives this day. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. I have a roll call, please, Matt.
Here.
Stancil? Here. Hobbs?
Here.
All right, we're all here. Review of the agenda, any disclosure of conflict of interest. There is a correction to the consent agenda I'd like to make with the board's approval where it says board.
This call will be recorded.
Where it says board appointments, it should say board applications. So there's a misunderstanding there. So if you guys are okay doing that.
Board applications.
For the zoning. For the zoning.
So you're gonna entertain the application?
No.
You're just gonna
Changing the
receive
title.
and file it?
Receive and file.
Okay,
It should not have been put down as an appointment.
So I would just put it under receive and file.
Oh,
not
rather than
board
changing the
appointment.
title?
Yeah, just put it under
Okay.
receive and file.
We can do that. Are you okay?
I agree with that, yes.
Okay. All right, so you can make the correction. All right, if there's anything else?
Will there be an update posted to the public for when that position?
Yeah, we will, it'll be on an agenda.
So we'll do it corrected,
So,
okay.
but we'll need to decide when we want to close it and make a decision.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
we can maybe do that in a future meeting.
Yeah.
So
Sounds good to
Ryan
me.
says he's okay with the board members he has right now, so the vacancy isn't causing any hardship. Is
Sounds
that
good.
correct, Ryan? He's here.
Yeah, Ryan will tell us when he wants it appointed.
Okay, so, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. We are now at the time of public comment.
Oh, wait, the receive and file, that's listed as separate. It says approval of general minutes and claim and receive and file. Can I have floor?
I'm sorry.
I'd like to say something about.
Do we need to make it, or you want to?
Well, I want to say something, this is just from me. I think the petition that these people gathered, I think this is what America's about. You all came together, you were all different parties, and you congregated and you turned in a petition in a very rapid manner without any, what party you were, and I think this is wonderful. I think you exercised your right for assembly and your constitutional right to petition, to pick who you want, and I commend you for that, and I commend you for putting apart all political differences.
Okay, so we're into public comment now. If you wish to make a public comment, please come up to the microphone, state your name and town of residence, and you have 3 minutes. So, and then those that are on the phone, once we conclude with folks here on site, we will go to you if you're okay with that. Just please make sure you mute your phone and unmute. Can someone say something to make sure you guys can hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome, thank you.
Copy that.
All right, awesome, thank you very much. Okay, we're going to proceed with the folks here who wish to make a comment. Anyone wish to make a comment? If those in the back can tell the folks back there, they may not hear it. Ask them if any of them want to make a comment. Harry, want to come on up?
My name's Harry Pettit, Winterset, Iowa. I want to read something to you right here. Now, this is out of the law books. And it's 317.23, duty of county attorney. It shall. Now, shall, if you don't know what it means, they must. It shall be the duty of the county attorney upon complaint of any citizen that any officer charged with enforcement of the provisions of the chapter have neglected or failed to perform the officer's duty to enforce the performance of such duty. That's 317.23. 317.24, punishment of officer. Any officer referred to in this chapter who neglects or fails to perform the duties incumbent upon the officer under the provision of this chapter shall be guilty of a simple misdemeanor. That's 317.23 and 24, which is that's noxious weed law. I've had to get another attorney because, again, I filed a lawsuit about 3 or 4 years ago against the county. There was so many lies that was told in the courtroom, and I don't even have to prove the lies because everything's written down on paper. I've got another attorney now because they're not doing their job. The county attorney, as far as I'm concerned, is not doing their job. You guys want to file a lawsuit against our sheriff, and I'm going to tell you something. I think our sheriff is one. I don't think you can beat him. But I demand, and I'm going to say I demand, that the county attorney go by 317.23 and 317.24, which is law, right out of the law book. This ain't hearsay. It's the law. The misdemeanor charges are filed against you 3 supervisors and the weed commissioner. Thank you.
Can I ask a follow-up question, Mr. Pettit? When you referenced in your recent letter that was submitted to the board, the only one I've seen, that there was another communication, where was that and how was that shared?
I didn't hear what you said.
In our board packet is a letter from you, and it references a previous communication. What was that previous communication? How was it communicated to the board? Because I don't have it.
That's because you're never in your office. I was up there 11 o'clock, just like I put in the paper. There was nobody there. It
At
has
11 o'clock
Stancil's,
when?
it has Stancil's hours and days. It has Fitch's hours and days. And when it comes to you, it has an email or a phone number. You're not there. Now, I was there at 11 o'clock. Why wasn't you there?
So my
In
hours are
between
Friday
time.
afternoon.
What's
Those
that?
are my office hours Friday afternoon, but I meet with constituents day and night and weekends. So I have never, on my Friday afternoon days in the office, there has never been a citizen come in to talk to me. They call me, they schedule, we
How do you
meet.
know they ain't been there? But just like me, I was there. You wasn't there. Nobody
Okay,
there.
where's the communication, the first communication you
Where
sent?
is the communication? I mean, there's no
If I
transparency.
may,
Back your
let's,
first letter.
if
Let's
we
don't
can,
go
if
back
we can
and forth.
just, if you would
The
mind,
first letter, that was probably
Harry,
3 or
would
4
you
years
mind,
ago.
would
Okay,
you
that's
mind
what she's
getting with
asking
her?
about.
Would you mind getting with Supervisor Hobbs and schedule a time so you guys can discuss this?
That'd be great.
I don't know if this is the appropriate avenue.
Harry said that letter was 3-4 years ago.
Oh,
I don't know how I would have received that then. I started in January. Okay, that clears it up. Thank you.
okay, all right. Anyone else wish to comment? Otherwise, we're gonna go to the phone. Anyone else? Oh, there's someone.
Oh, go ahead, I'll let you part.
Hello, I'm Landon Keim from Earlham. I would just like to thank this board for their work. Particularly, I would like to thank Supervisor Stancil, Supervisor Hobbs. You two campaigned on looking out for us, keeping government small, and you have kept your word, and we thank you. The big government forces that think the people of this county are an ATM for their spending, they are hard at work to get that power back to do so. But we just like to say thank you for your work. And let's be clear though, the people that like big government and like to spend, they don't just reside in one party. They're big government, good old boy Republicans too. But thankfully, the overwhelming majority of the people in this county when they have their voice, they overwhelmingly put you two on this board to hold the line, and you have done so. I'd like to thank you, and you have our support.
Thanks, Landon.
All right.
Marisa Schneider, Winterset, Iowa. Okay. An auditor, I'm sorry. An auditor was appointed by the Board of Supervisors on July 3rd and sworn in on the 7th. I understand the public announcement of the appointment was inaccurate because the announcement failed to inform the citizens of their right to a special election. Therefore, the auditor's appointment should be invalid. So who is the county auditor today? Is there a county auditor today? Apparently not, because this board, one of the agenda items for this board today is to appoint an auditor. So, if the original appointment was invalid and the auditor's office is vacant, how is a petition for a special election valid when there is no auditor? The appointment is set for today because there is no auditor. I am all for a special election, but I need assurance that this current position in this current petition is lawful. What is the applicable law that states that accepting a petition for a special election is lawful before there is a legal appointment or auditor? I don't know what that law is. I strongly believe a full redo or do-over is required to ensure the Madison County Board of Supervisors are following the law. The legal process should be: 1, appoint an auditor today, according to the agenda. 2, announce the appointment correctly so citizens are aware of the right to petition for a special election. 3, gather the appropriate signatures. And number 4, have a special election and let the citizens be heard. This process, and only this process, will ensure that all citizens of Madison County believe that the law and procedures are completely followed. Accepting a petition in good faith concerns me. What does the law actually say about accepting petitions prior to an auditor being appointed? I don't know, but we need to follow the law. So as for that good faith petition, stop me when I get to my 3 minutes, because I get several people involved in this good faith petition were well aware that the auditor was not a legal appointment.
Okay.
6 days ago on Facebook,
It's done.
it's done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Gentleman back there.
Yeah, do you want to just walk around?
Yeah, you come up to
If
the
you can
podium.
get there.
Oh, if you can.
Alright. I'm kind of a big man. Alright.
Just state your name and town.
David, name and town.
David Garlich at Winterset, County, Madison. I do not envy any of y'all that are serving on the board because there's a whole lot of pressure being applied to y'all, and I have to understand if I understand the timeline correctly on everything, because it seems to me that what happened was the duly elected people, the people voted for a different auditor. And Diane didn't like that, and so did not approve the assistant to the auditor and created a whole mess. And now we have an issue where nobody wants the auditor to have changed that are here some of the people that are here don't want the auditor to find out whatever's going on in the auditing office. And so they're doing everything possible to make sure that whatever has happened or going on in the auditor's office, that never comes to light. And that concerns me greatly. I'm hoping and praying that the obfuscation and the colluding that is going on is stopped, and that we get to the bottom of what's going on in the auditing office. I'm hoping that the correct appointment and the applying of the person that you guys have selected to be our auditor goes through, and we can find out what's going on in the auditing office.
Thank you, David. Okay. Anyone else here on site that wishes to speak?
Vicky Brenner, Winterset. I didn't intend to speak, but I checked the packet this morning, the board packet, and the minutes, and I believe it was posted on Friday. And we know who the acting treasurer is, and we know that the petition was received. There's a statement on the board website in good faith, so we could probably just leave that to rest. It's posted on the board packet.
Anyone else wish to speak?
Mike Fletcher, Winterset, Iowa. One of the items on the agenda kind of concerns me because I feel like history is kind of repeating itself. And we haven't learned from mistakes in the past. And the first incident involves Craig Bergman being involved in the election process as a political advisor, specifically to Kaczynski. Apparently no monies were available to pay him, and 30 days later he gets hired by the auditor's office. And it looks like it's a quid pro quo, coming up with money to pay him for the work that he did on the campaign. Now it looks like we're doing that all over again because you have hired an attorney, you sued the sheriff. Now, an item on the agenda is that you want to appoint your personal attorney to consult and advise the board of directors. I believe that's number 8.
That's not on there.
It is, it says
To discuss, but there's no appointment.
Well, to discuss, and I believe that if that is in fact your attorney, that is a discussion you should abstain from.
I will let you continue. Go ahead.
That's all I got to say. So thank you for your
All right,
time.
thank you. Anyone else?
James Phillips, Winterset. So here we are again, packed room. I mean, this is not normal, right? I mean, I said this before. We have traditional meeting, we have social meeting. Yeah, this is not normal for Board of Supervisors. You have to understand that and recognize that. I can go into a diatribe about voting and some of the things that are said here, but let's just do this. You went on a platform, Heather, of fiscal responsibility, right? Among other things. On the agenda is an appointment for the auditor. You already have a filed petition to have a special election. So to appoint an auditor in light of that is a waste of money. Why pay someone for a month that may not have the job after that month? It's a waste of money. So by your convictions, we should not appoint an auditor. Jessica, you last year had a petition of 565 people. Remember that? You had a
2 years
petition?
ago.
2 years ago?
2 years ago, the Diane Fitch and
You had one, right? It had
Refused to
500 plus
accept.
signatures. And you were vociferous in how that number of people had to be heard. Those people had a voice, and you wanted the Board of Supervisors to listen to that voice, right? 1,400 people just gave you a voice, right? And we have to listen to that voice too. So by your own convictions, we should not appoint an auditor until the special election. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak? All right, someone coming up? Okay. Yeah.
My name is Joel Welch. I've been a resident of Winterset for about 25 years. It is my understanding that you have created a lawsuit because of the looking into of your personal finances.
I can't comment on a lawsuit.
Okay, well, if you have a problem with that, then why the hell are you in public office? Even the President of the United States has a formal rule. It issues or gives the American public his income tax form, his income tax return. He makes it public. It would seem to me that as an individual who is in government would want to freely and openly give their financial situation, especially considering the fact we've had a form of embezzlement in this county. So I just find it hard to believe that if that were the case, you feel you're above reproach to have your finances looked at. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to comment? Okay.
Yes,
we're gonna
I
go- oh, Is there someone wish to comment here?
Somebody's sitting there.
Adam Nichols, Berlin. I'll start by saying that I used to think politics in Iowa was generally a common sense affair. Sure, politics is politics, and sometimes the rhetoric is heated. However, having heard and seen recent news reports, and those over the last few months involving our county, and looking backward, I'm struck by how orchestrated it all seems to be, as if it were a targeted campaign, set into motion after our duly elected officials were sworn in December of '24. It looks like a targeted campaign by people with no fixed principles, opportunists who view every damaged career, reputation, or lost job as acceptable collateral damage as long as they get their way. If I'm right, this targeted campaign has pressured a duly elected auditor into resigning. This in spite of the fact that there were several months of work left undone from the previous auditor. This in spite of the appearance that the previous auditor had inadequate processes in place to review and monitor payment activities of elected officials. My personal theory is that this is why the disgraced treasurer was able to alter county records. The previous auditor didn't identify holes that identified people to touch their own payment records. Good governance 101 is that you never let a person in a position of authority have the ability to touch their own records. The second thing, again, if I'm right, this targeted campaign has somehow managed to pump up a comment from Supervisor Stancil about the county not having budgeted for a special election into an attempt at voter intimidation. In spite of the sensationalist spin, the words written by Supervisor Stancil are a principled statement of clear fact. The county can't spend more than it takes in. Even though the federal government spends money like a drunken sailor, we can't do that at the county level. Read Supervisor Stancil's words yourself. They're all out there. I myself am not intimidated by them, and I consider myself to be a reasonable person. I find it refreshing that an elected official is willing to speak candidly and plainly on a public forum. That takes time, energy, and grit. These are things that Supervisor Stancil has given to the county in spades. Ask yourselves, where does this targeted campaign end? Is its true goal the removal of duly elected officials? Who will the targeted campaign go after next? The political opportunists seem to stop at nothing. They'll say whatever they need to say to the news, to each other, and since they seem to have no principles, they don't care about who or what they destroy along the way. They don't care about who the people elected, they care only about getting their people into office. And common sense will have left the building.
Okay, anyone else on site that wishes to speak? Because I'm going to move to the phone, and then we'll go on to the rest of the agenda. All right, we're gonna go to the phone now. If there's anybody on the phone that wishes to speak, please remember to unmute your phone and state your name and town.
Hello. I would wish to speak. My name is Hannah Davis. I'm in Winterset, Iowa. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you.
Perfect. Heather, this question is for you. I asked you a while ago online, I'm not the only one in the community, but, you know, for those of us that watched the interviews and saw the qualification, and also for those of us that have learned the connection personally to some of the applicants in the past, we are all still struggling to understand how you decided the auditor that you selected was the most qualified candidate. So if you'd like to get back to me on that, that would be great. I just don't feel comfortable with all of the movement that's happening. I completely understand people in the community who are, you know, frustrated because this was an elected official, Harry Gibson. At the same time, I hope people in the community can understand where those of us who have seen who's been funding and pushing forward a lot of these newly elected officials who've been behind a lot of those movements and those campaigns. If you want to see collusion and if you're worried about corruption, then I would say allow what's happening to keep moving forward. The county is entitled to a special election, and if the community feels that yet again another unqualified candidate has been put into a position in our county and they shouldn't be, then let the community vote on it and let the community speak for who they believe should be in that position. We've already seen what happens when an unqualified candidate gets put into a position that they shouldn't be, and we're watching that play out not only statewide on the news, but in local news in states nearby. My family's in Nebraska, and how embarrassing it was to be contacted by my sister last week to tell us that our county is yet again in the news. I admire what those who are doing in the public are doing to bring light to the shady movements that are happening in our local government, and I just really hope that we can get back to the basics, which is, you know, we need to support the community, we need to support our local county, and we need to make sure that we're keeping things here. You know, I know the place is being blamed, or the blame is being placed on the new IT team, but I'm pretty sure somebody on this council, somebody on this board, pushed pretty hard for that new IT team to be outsourced. And that's the cause of the problem with the newly appointed auditor or how he was appointed. So I'm just hoping people are getting a broad range of input and not just going to one source for what they believe is happening in this county. Because I think that there's a lot more, and I hope that a lot more of it comes to light with these investigations.
Okay. Anyone else wish to speak that's on the phone? Please remember to unmute your phone and give your name and your town.
Sorry, Heather, were you going to address my question during this call?
Your time's up. I'm sorry, Hannah, your time is up, and we normally don't do that, so,
I heard you go back and forth with other people throughout this entire meeting, so I don't understand how you don't have a
I'm not
quick
gonna-
answer order.
I'm not,
Your time is up.
yeah,
Order, and you're
so, okay, who would like to speak next? Anyone else? All right, let's go ahead, we'll move one more time. Anyone else that wish to speak before we move on? Okay.
Heather.
Yes.
This is, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Please
this
state
is
your
Shelley
name and
Marsh.
time. Okay.
What was it? Shelley Marsh.
Shelley Marsh. All right, go ahead, Shelley. Go ahead, Shelley.
Okay.
Yes.
Good one. I'd just like to address some of the things that's been said, and state that we are really disappointed in how all this is playing out. We feel that the board followed,
I think someone just put themselves on mute and put a. Shelley, can you speak up? We can't hear you.
Okay, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
You can hear me?
yes.
Yes. All right, thank you. I'd just like to say that we're disappointed in how things have gone and the back and forth, how things have been twisted to fit certain narratives, false allegations. This is not us. We are not this type of accountant. It needs to stop. We need to move forward. The board appointed someone because they were allowed to. I have not heard one board member, and I've talked to all of them at different times. I've not heard them once say they were against a special election. In fact, I heard that they expected one, and that they followed the process, and they had nothing against it, and you got it. People signed for it. I was signing for it. It's time to move forward, and the bobble in not making a public notice and the appointment is going to have to be fixed and move forward, and if special election is allowed, then we can all vote, people can run that want to run, and we need to move forward as a county. The abuse of power and pushing their way through is just gotten out of hand. And that's not what we are. We want a fair government that needs to be heard. And I'm sorry, but this has just gotten absolutely ridiculous going back and forth. And everyone should be ashamed of themselves for acting the way they do, hiding behind the computer and saying some of the things that they've said. It's time to move forward, and this is Madison County. So let's act like it. Thank you.
Thank you, Shelley. Is there anyone else on the phone that wishes to speak? Otherwise, we're going to move on to the next, into our resolutions.
Yes, I'm Rick from Earlham.
Okay. Rick, what's your last name?
Matthew?
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Yes, none of this makes sense to me. I mean, we have a auditor that was appointed that wasn't legitimately appointed by council members that are moving against the interests of the people. It all seems like corrupt crony rhinoism that people rail against left, right, and center and say, hey, we want to not be like the Democrats, and then you guys have done perfect expression of the Biden corrupt cronyism beforehand. Some of the corrupt cronyism we're seeing going on today, and it's just extremely disappointing to see the leadership and the direction that's taken. Everyone, us as Republicans, were sick of corrupt politicians working in their own interests, telling us positive lies with one hand and then stabbing us all as taxpayers in the back with the other. Also that they can get friends in power and deny voting rights to the people that are duly entitled to. This has just been a big disappointment and a debacle right from the beginning. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay. All right. Anyone else that wish to speak? Okay. I'm gonna mute now. So if we'll go ahead and move on to resolutions for board consideration. Okay. This one is from the assessor's office approving recommendation, or auditor's office approving recommendations from assessor on homestead credit, disabled veterans homestead tax credit, and military exemption applications for 2025. Do I have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Do I have a
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the next one is approving the hire of I don't know how to Schweikart, I don't want to
Say
mispronounce
it
it.
again, Steve.
Schweiger.
Swiper.
Thank you. As full-time paralegal at 31.25 an hour, effective July 15th, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Approving VPN access for new employee until 31 July 2026. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Next one is approving public health discharge debt of deceased individual for $45. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please vote aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Next one is approving wage adjustments for L. Singer and C. Allen, effective July 1, 2025. I know C. Allen, we actually did our last meeting on that wage thing, but this is just to make sure it's clear. So, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. The next one is approving appointment of the county auditor at $80,424.16 effective July 22nd, 2025. I do have a question on that resolution, and I apologize, I beat you to it. It has a compensation effective date of July 7th. I don't think we can backdate appointments, so, and I think that's probably a legal question. So I'm not quite sure.
My opinion is and has been that he was appointed on the 7th. And then somebody last week released a statement for public notice saying that the office was vacant.
Okay,
he's appointed the 7th.
Can you come to the podium, Steve?
Yeah. So, some background on this, why we're doing that is on July 13th, a member of the public, well, actually, I saw it on Facebook, but a member of the public stated that the posting for the position was not done properly. So we contacted you, and you said we needed to repost, and that was done. So, I'm sure it caused confusion with the public, so that clarification was sent out, is my understanding. So I guess I'm trying to figure out the process here, because you advised us that we needed to repost.
You
And
need to repost the 14-day notice, yes. What I have advised you of the entire time is that he was appointed on the 7th, not the 3rd. There was already an auditor on the 3rd. He was appointed the 7th. That's when his start date was, and then at some point, somebody, and I'm not sure who, because I've talked to Ms. Hobbs and Ms. Fitch, and they both said they never voted to reopen the appointment.
we didn't vote, that's why I'm confused.
I don't know
You
who
told us,
posted it.
you told us to
It was posted on
repost,
the official website.
and it was in the paper too.
In the paper then, I guess. I didn't see the paper.
So you advised us to repost, and that's what we did.
That there's a 14-day period, yes.
Okay, so help me understand this then. Do we or do we not have an auditor? Because you kicked him out of his office last
That's
week.
because you and him combined posted something saying the office is vacant. You cannot have a vacant office and a full office.
We did not.
It's a Schrodinger's cat. You can't have, the cat can't be in the box and outside the box at the same time. Public notice went out that we were taking applications for auditor and it would be heard at this meeting.
No, there was no public notice that said anything about
It
applications.
said applicants must be residents in Madison County.
I'll have to look at it again, but it didn't say you were receiving applications. I
It
looked
literally
at
said
it.
applicants must be residents in Madison County at the time of appointment, so that's what it
So
said.
you advised us to repost it, we did that.
I advise you to post a 14-day notice, and I also advise you that any vote, any of the signatures on the write-in campaign ballot would count from the 7th and then add 14 days to the end so that no signatures were nullified. That's what I advised you.
Right, I understand that, but the topic right now is the appointment. I'm trying to get clarification. You told us
But you
because
just need to repost
that
a
we need to
14-day
repost.
notice.
So we did that, So there was confusion. So obviously, I would want to know why we're reposting for something that happened historically.
You just need to post the 14-day notice, because that's
That's
the
not
part.
what you said.
That's
In your
what I
email,
have
you
said.
In your email, you said you need to repost, otherwise his appointment could be challenged. So
Right.
we did that.
Right.
So what is the issue?
You're trying to appoint him on the 22nd.
Because you told us to repost it.
No,
So here's the.
you're obviously not understanding.
Well, Steve, clearly, that's why we're having this conversation. So my question to you is, if you told us to repost, we did that, and then you turned around and kicked our appointed auditor out of office.
I didn't kick him out. I advised that if there is no auditor because somebody posted there's a vacancy in the auditor's office.
You told us to do that.
I did not tell you to post a
I have an
vacancy.
email from you.
No, I never said post it as a vacancy. I said post notice of the 14
That's
days.
not what you said. You said you need to repost.
You need to repost the notice.
We took it as the whole entire notice.
I can't, you already voted for him. I cannot make you unvote for him. No one has voted to do anything.
So it's your,
Since the 7th.
so your contention is.
He was appointed on the 7th.
Just to get clarification, is that we do not have a vacancy in the office.
I've never said you did until somebody posted that there was a vacancy.
Okay, so what was posted is what you said you needed to repost.
No, it is not. I was sent that by the auditor, or whatever you want to call him, and I said, do not post that
Calm
in
down.
your email.
Wow.
What?
What? I'm sorry? Okay. So this is what we're trying to get clarified, Steve, is that.
I told him not to post that. I said, I am in court this morning, I will get back to you, and then he made a decision to post it anyways, or you, or whoever, but I certainly did not say to post that.
Okay, so the thing is though, that you knew that the supervisors did not vote to do that, so why would you kick our auditor out of the office?
I didn't kick him out. I advised that if there's a vacancy in the office, there cannot be a person occupying the office. It doesn't
You
make
told him
sense.
he needed to leave.
Was he a valid auditor at the time?
It's in the email. I don't know. They posted a vacancy.
Was he valid?
I thought he was until they posted a vacancy.
It was, as far as I know, he was valid, but he
You
declared a
posted something
vacancy.
that
I didn't
was
declare a
not-
I did
vacancy.
not vote, no.
The
I
Board of
posted what you-
Supervisors declared a
you
vacancy.
told
That's
me
what was
to-
published.
You told me to post that. I have an
I
email
did
from.
not tell you. I absolutely said, do not post that. It's in an email. I said, do not
Not to
post
me.
that. To Matt.
So
Who's
you
the
told
person
me,
that emailed me.
you told me to post it, and I forwarded it on. So the question is right now, we can't have it, we can't, because right now this petition is under a cloud, and I don't want it to be under a
It's
cloud.
not under a cloud.
So I want to know, was he auditor at the time?
That's what I've said the entire time.
Right, so if that's the case, and you knew that, why did you kick him out of his office?
I didn't kick him out. I advised after you posted a notice of vacancy from the Board of
I posted
Supervisors.
exactly what you told me to
No,
post.
you did not.
Point of order, he said, she said, point of order.
Okay, well, I'm happy to re-forward that email to you that you sent to me.
I'd be more than happy to see the one that has that posting and me saying, yes, put that in the paper. I would love to see that.
So I would be happy to send that to you. So my question right now for the board is, should we be doing this reappointment, or is he currently auditor?
I've been saying the whole time, all you needed to do was repost the 14 days. And then you needed to just
That's
tell
not-
the voters, this is what I've said,
That's not my question.
You keep
My
cutting me
question
off.
is, do
I
we
said
need
you
to
had
do
one
this-
on the 7th.
Do we need to do this reappointment? That's my question.
No, you had an order on the 7th. And then you needed to repost that there's a 14-day notice. And then have the board get together at this meeting and vote and say, we will accept any signatures past this time, but we accept any signatures that happen between the 7th and today, because you need to remedy the fact that you never gave people notice that there was a vacancy.
But
that there was
is that
a
allowed
right
in
to
Iowa
vote.
code?
No one's gonna complain. The Secretary of State said that was fine. That would be a
Okay, do
remedy.
we have that in writing?
No, we don't have it in writing.
Okay.
Steve, so today, should we leave this office vacant, have a special election, appoint the first deputy with the help of the treasurer, she called him the treasurer? Can we do that to move forward and call this special
I mean,
election?
apparently you guys can do whatever you want. You started off.
Well, I'm asking you for
I don't know. I mean, what I have said the whole time is that he was appointed on the 7th. So if he's appointed on the 7th, he's an auditor on the 7th. And then the votes count, and there's a special election. That's all we're here to do. Like, I don't know where this 22nd comes from. I don't know where the 3rd you guys keep talking about comes from. Those dates do not exist.
Okay, so my question to you again is,
The answer is 5 times.
Okay, so you're saying that he is currently auditor and we do not need to do this appointment? Is that
That's what I
you're
said, yes.
Okay, so it is your, so we do.
You need to-
So right now, he can go back to his office,
He always could.
get his lap. He was told he was gonna be trespassed from the property.
If he wasn't the auditor,
So my question is.
who issued the vacancy notice?
You told me to repost it.
Oh, so you did. I did
No,
not.
I passed
I
it
did
on
not
to the
approve that.
auditor.
I did not approve that.
Matt posted it.
Wait a second. Wait a
Matt
second.
posted it.
Because you, okay,
Matt posted it, Heather.
I understand that, but my
And then I
point
found
is-
out later that the board did not approve that.
No, we did not approve it. We went by what you were telling us in an email. But anyway, it's
Okay.
neither here nor there. I need to know, if we do this appointment, do we need to do this appointment today?
You just do whatever you want like you do.
No,
Because I've already
I-
told you my answer 5 times. You
I
don't
want
want
to
to
know
listen
if
to it.
we need to do this appointment today, or is he a valid auditor right now?
I thought he was a valid auditor in the 7th.
Okay, so what happened last week should not have happened, and he is auditor now, correct?
What happened last, you shouldn't have posted a notice that it was vacant,
My
correct?
question is the auditor now?
I don't know, you posted a notice of vacancy. Everything got screwed up when the board of supervisors posted a notice of
So
vacancy.
here's the thing, so you told us to do that.
No, I did not.
Okay,
Take responsibility.
I have.
I did better, not you, her. Take responsibility.
I have an email from the county attorney.
You do not have an email saying
Fighting
that,
like
that is
hell.
okay.
Okay.
To affirm those signatures.
I haven't, no, this is not
Let
the
him go
case
back to
here.
work.
So my question is he auditor now or not? If he is.
I
then
don't
we're
know
fine.
because you posted a notice of vacancy. He was on the 7th, then you posted a
But
notice of
it's,
vacancy.
okay, so if the board didn't vote for it, then what's the issue?
Then he must be the auditor. I
Okay,
don't know
that's all I
because you've
wanted
made
to
it
know.
all completely
No,
cloudy
that's all
because
I
you
wanted to
posted a
know.
notice of vacancy
That's all I wanted to know.
from the board of supervisors.
Because we were going by what you
I'm
said.
gonna make a
were
motion
not going
that
by
we
what I said.
table anything related to this, because Steve, I asked you for your legal opinion, and you still didn't give it to me, you still didn't give me
I
the
have given you my
codes.
legal opinion 20 times, Jess.
Well,
You don't like to
we
listen
need-
to it,
No,
but
not
I've
true.
given it to you.
We need a second opinion on this, because I don't want to, how do we correct something that wasn't done lawfully by doing another thing that's not lawful? I want this all laid out, defined, exactly what the
I told you how to
circumstances are.
correct it.
Let's just simply have the first deputy step up and have a vote.
No.
Let them put their name on a
That's not how it
ballot and
works,
vote.
Diane.
No.
That's
Why?
not how it works.
Can't do that.
You can't do that. That's not how.
I stand by my appointment, and that office has needs, and tax statements are likely
Right.
not gonna be out on time as it is. We
Put him
need
to
somebody
work.
in that office yesterday, getting
to
work
work.
done.
I believe they're, yeah, right.
Put him to
Oh,
work.
great,
Statements are out.
great, that's great.
So,
I never sent anything out.
so if the office is not vacant, then there's no need for
They're
this
not out.
resolution.
They're not out.
Oh, they're not a,
No, they're not.
Be very quiet. Sorry,
So they're not out.
my
Okay.
motion stands.
All right,
I think we need
so,
to get some consults on this, a second opinion legally.
so regarding the appointment, that's the concern I have, because we want to make sure we have someone in there so we can do the taxes.
So what you're gonna do is you're gonna table it and he'll go back into office. Just
Right.
Back in.
Sounds
Just so
like
I
that's,
understand.
That sounds
I
like,
don't think he was ever not the auditor, except for when you filed a notice of vacancy from the board of supervisors.
I'm
and
not
that
gonna
made things
rehash that. You
confused.
and I obviously do not disagree, you and I disagree on this. So if there was a misunderstanding, then that's fine, and we can move forward from that. And I'm hoping it's a misunderstanding. But the point is that you did what you did last week.
What is that?
You basically removed him from the building,
I said, if you're not the auditor, you have to leave.
okay?
And that
Well,
included you because you're
You're
in there
telling me
24
now that
hours.
he is the auditor.
Well, that was the opinion from the board of supervisors that said the office is vacant.
So then why don't you just have a conversation and just clarify it rather
Because I
than
wrote
moving
an
from the
email that
office?
described it all, and then no one wanted to ask any questions.
I asked questions. So anyway, so if the board believes that the current auditor is the auditor, then I don't think there's any need for this resolution. Do you guys concur?
yes.
Okay, so I believe that too. So obviously it was, he should not have been removed last week. He was currently auditor. So we can move forward and we can.
File a vacancy, that's what I'm
We can
saying.
get, again, So we can go ahead and move forward and skip this resolution because we don't need to do it because Matt is currently the auditor. I don't know if Matt is here. Yeah, so you're still auditor. Okay.
So am I no longer under threat of arrest if I return to my office?
That is my belief, yes. And as a board, I'm saying, yes, you should not be under threat of arrest. You didn't have that authority.
So we're gonna.
I'm not saying I didn't have that authority, Heather. What I'm saying is, he declared the office vacant, and you can't be the auditor and not have an auditor. That's what I'm trying to say. So if he's not the auditor, he can't be in there. If he is the auditor, he can be in there. That's what I've been saying the whole time. You just don't want to listen to it.
Anyway, so let's move on. So we're gonna go ahead and you are the auditor, Matt, for now. And I apologize, you're gonna have to, we have some crunch time going on. So if you can, I'm sorry. If you can move on with that, that'd be great. Okay, so we're gonna, well, I guess we're gonna table it because we don't.
So what you did was you tabled it, he'll go back into office, we'll pay him $13,000 until the end of until August 26th
Yes,
to a
because
special
we pay our
election.
auditors, Diane.
All right, I'm against it, but go ahead, you're gonna do what you're gonna do.
It's not against, there's nothing to vote on.
Right.
Okay, moving on. Approving new proxy for ICAP. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
You have Schwartz's name up front, okay.
Yes, his name's on there. Do I have a second? I will second that. All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Nay.
All right, motion carries. Approving award of $100,000 from the Opioid Settlement Fund, the Turning Point Evaluation for Administration of the Opioid Task Force Project. I did not see an application or a contract for this, did you?
Why don't you give us an update, Diane?
I do. We have an MOU. I want everybody to understand, opioid, it happened quite a few years ago. The government sued the pharmaceuticals for overprescribing opioids. So it's been quite a few years ago. Matt Schultz and I don't remember, we just got in on this class action lawsuit. And the lawyers won. So this money was distributed to states and counties if the counties got in on the class action, which we did. So that money is pharmaceutical, it's a loss of, they lost the lawsuit. So they had to give us the money. There's no government involved, it can't be clawed back. It has to come to us and we use it for opioid prevention or anything associated with addictions and neglect, all of those things. So we did make applications. We did interview quite a few people. We had a task force made up of professionals, lawyer, doctor, nurse, EMS, and a sheriff, and me. We interviewed a lot. We got, finally, after a long time, we got all 3 schools on board using professional counselors called the Turning Point, who are doctors and counselors that only deal with this kind of crisis. We got them on board, and they really wanted a lot more money than we had. So we offered $100,000, just as it'll be a drawdown. They'll turn in their bills, and we will pay them. We will all look at them and approve them. They go to the auditors, and they will be reimbursed. We had that pretty much all worked out. They also put in about quite a bit of their own money, almost matched our money. So we thought this was a really good move. We do not legally need a contract or a memorandum of understanding. But we went ahead and the task force thought it was a really good, we got them all together and we brought it before the board. And that's where we stand, so we're bringing it back. We wanted it for the curriculum of the school. The schools want to start this as quickly as they can. And that's why we're asking to obligate this first round to them so they can get this on their curriculum.
So where's the contract?
You don't need a contract. He did do a memorandum of understanding. The rules don't require a contract. The contract what do you want a contract for?
So.
To
Diane-
protect the county if a
There's
child.
no county involved.
Okay,
I know,
We're
but
a
we're just
pass-through. We're a
Diane,
pass-through.
the state requires it. The state
No,
requires
they don't.
contracts, other.
If you read the settlement, no, they don't.
No, they don't.
They don't.
Read it.
The settlement is between the pharmaceutical
The
company.
contract is between the government and the county. It's not between the person who is.
If people were to submit for the opioid funds with the state requires a contract before they disperse those funds, because it's considered a grant. So this is a grant, so we would like to have something in
You would
writing.
like to, but we're not required to have one.
Yeah, but it's at the board's
So you guys
discretion.
are pushing this off month after month while we are,
It's at the board's discretion to have some kind of documentation.
your
So
discretion, so you guys keep pushing this off.
both parties understand who's responsible for what. We're not gonna write $100,000 check to somebody.
We aren't. We aren't writing
It isn't county money.
Diane, please let me finish. The point is this is $100,000 that we are responsible for as board.
No, we're not.
No, you're not. This is not county money.
Let's go
This is
back.
settlement money.
Let's go back. June 10th meeting, the first that I had exposure to what the plan was, this board unanimously agreed in the program. It was unanimously agreed, and the plan was to develop a contract. The day before the next meeting, I called the county attorney, and he says, everybody step down, everybody's pulling out, and it's all the board's fault. So what happened between June 10th and that next meeting, Diane? You were on the task force.
And then at the Board of Health meeting, the member of the Board of Health told me that no one knew what was going on. She's a member of the task force. She said,
Jessica,
"I had
that's
no
not
idea."
fair. We
I
had a
have
meeting.
I'm the member
So
of
I
the-
haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
And then I met with the Turning Point folks on July 8th. And you all were comfortable with the template from Polk County being used.
Yes, you also
what
said
did
you were
we-
going to walk across the street to Stephen's office,
And
and
he
he
was-
never received anything that we gave you. So we had to resubmit everything to him.
He told me he already had the Polk County contract, and that's what he was already working on drafting before everything was called off.
Right, but we gave you a new budget, and we also discussed that we would need to see an MOU more than a day or two before, and that we've been waiting on it for months.
Yep.
And so you had said, I'm gonna take the new budget over, we're gonna get this taken care of right away, and then crickets for another 10 days.
And you weren't on the task force. You interjected
So
yourself.
who is on the task force, Diane?
I am, and we've got a wonderful
Who is?
plan.
I was told that everybody stepped down besides the county attorney, and he's not even officially on it. So who's on it today?
We all got together and we are for giving this money. We are for the schools.
So am I.
Come back.
We all are,
You-
Diane.
Then let's do it. Why are you so
This is no due diligence.
It's, you
We
do
wanna
not.
we wanna see the application with the updated numbers. We wanna see the MOU or contract or whatever it is.
And we
something
gave it
that-
to Ms. Hobbs, and she did nothing with it.
Mr. County Attorney told me he already had that
I
same
did
contract.
not- He did not have the updated budget. We had to give it to him because you did not do your job.
Oh, I didn't do my job.
Shame on you.
Okay.
All right.
No, I was fully supporting this program. What's there to approve today? How do we approve it?
There's nothing.
Pass it.
Pass it.
Pass it.
Just pass it.
Help the kids.
Go ahead and shoot me an email that that no contracts required, no.
There's a contract circulating that's gonna be signed here as soon as the lawyers review it.
And that is the thing, even though it's not required, we did agree to do that, to meet you in the middle. However, we do need to do due diligence on our side, so our lawyers need to look at it. It's with legal right now. It's not that we're not gonna sign it, it's that we have to do our own pieces.
I would just say pass it, contingent on them signing.
Absolutely, you can hold the money till it's in your
I would
hands.
like to see it. I haven't even seen it.
How about contingent on a contract that is satisfactory to all parties?
Yes.
I think you have enough problems.
Well, then I think we
Okay,
should
point
also
of
put
order,
a timeline
point of
on it.
order. We are not in public comment. The discussion should remain with the board. We've said multiple times ad nauseum, this is a program they were in favor with. The only requirements we asked for in June 10th, which is over a month ago now, is that we get an updated application with updated numbers, corrected numbers, and the obligations for each party regarding the funding. That's all we wanted. So I don't understand why that's so hard. This is $100,000 of, yes, it's not taxpayer money, but we as a board are responsible for that money.
No, you're not.
Yes, we are. Otherwise, we wouldn't have to approve this.
You're approving what the task force brought before you. We
No,
worked
we are
really
approving
hard.
the expenditure of funds.
The
out of-
expenditures are reimbursement. They're a drawdown. We put
You don't
$100,000.
understand. This, any money that comes out of the county budget, no matter where it comes from, has to come from.
I'll vote for it. County attorney has said on camera that, hey, no documentation is needed, so, fine.
You wanna vote for that?
Well, or let's schedule another session till they can, like, immediately, so
can
we
we
can
do it
get the
maybe
proper
on-
documentation.
Just pass it.
All right, so why don't we set up a meeting where we can review this?
Are you kidding me?
Vicky, you are out of order.
So are you.
Okay. So,
Shit show.
anyway, so,
My gosh.
Polk County and the state require contracts.
They do not.
No.
They do not.
In the settlement, you show me in the
don't.
settlement where it is.
No, you don't, okay, there's a confusion here. The settlement is between the two parties. It's not between us and the state or us and the county. Okay, the settlement is between the
This
pharmaceutical
is
companies.
your made up rules that you require
I
this
read the
contract.
actual contract.
No,
sir.
you didn't.
No,
I
you
did.
didn't.
I did read it.
Show us where it says that.
It lists the parties and when.
I wanna see the page in the settlement that says requires the county for the.
I think you're speaking to the Polk County agreement that had been revised that we ended up asking for so that we had a template.
Right. And it is a good template.
It is great. That's not required. That's something that they determined that they would use, which that's why we said we would be in agreement to that. Again, like the timeliness is such a concern for us because we are already 6 weeks behind training our staff on this. And it's extremely fearful for me to hear you say, I'd like to put this off and have another meeting, because to us, that is a continued pushback on our timeline. And we're perfectly comfortable with like an agreement that you will release the money when you have the contract in hand or the MOU in hand. That is appropriate to us. We are just not comfortable signing it at this time because we haven't had it long enough for legal to look.
Do you think that you would have it in a couple days?
I would think so. I mean, we got that contract from Polk County within 48 hours and we were ready to remend it into, for Madison County and Turning Point.
Right.
And we are still waiting for this to be done. And this was, I don't know how many weeks, months ago that you guys decided to put this hurdle in front of us when the opioid task force had this approved and had us ready to start. And you guys decided, let's put a contract out there and wait for the county attorney who has his own job, his own responsibilities, and make up this rule that we need this contract.
So I
This
think-
was your doing.
So, there were two supervisors that wanted this, okay? So, the role of the task force, I think there's a misunderstanding on the role of the task force. The role of the task force is to review applicants and provide recommendations. They have no power other than the recommendation. On the application itself, it says there may be more requirements for that before approval. It says it right on the application. The application was not a guarantee that the Board of Supervisors will approve, because it still has to go before us, and then we have to review it and decide what we want to do. As a board, we thought it prudent to have some kind of written agreement between the parties to protect both parties, so everybody's expectations are met.
At this
So
point, we're on the
you
same
know better
page.
than a board of professionals, doctors, EMS, a lawyer, you all know better, you two ladies, Stancil and Hobbs, you know better than that board?
No.
Is that what you're
Never
saying?
stated
No,
that.
their expertise.
Because they approved us.
How about if the opioid task force was doing their job, they would bring us a damn
Oh.
document.
Wow.
First, I've seen it.
Whoa.
Number one, I still don't know who's on the task force, because our county attorney has stated that everybody dropped out and stepped down.
Except him, but he's
Except
not.
him.
Task force.
He's
I was on
not.
the task force.
Yeah.
Jason
Out
Barnes.
of all, my name is Brady Foreman. I'm the EMS director for Madison County Ambulance. Hello. Out of everybody that, all the applications we got, Turning Point was probably one of the best ones we got. It brought all the schools together to help with the opioid addictions. We deal with this stuff every day. The money that come from the money that we got, or we didn't get, the county got, come from the opioid settlements
from all the different drug companies, from the opioids, to help with all the overdose. And there's a big list of stuff you can use it for, what you can't use it for. We found that the schools, all 3 schools, come together to help with the addiction process with all the three schools. Turning Point, who deals with it every day also. They were the best ones that that presented an application to us. We've had countless meetings, spent countless hours going over everything. There was myself, one of the pharmacists from town. Steve was on it. Diane was on it.
The sheriff.
The sheriff was on it.
Public health.
Public health was on it. So out of everybody that came through, the Turning Point was probably the best option. That's why we presented it to the board. So Diane kind of has the rest of the stuff.
And then they got Wildwood involved in Drake University.
That's correct. They had Wildwoods that come so they can take the kids out there. Because they
I don't think anyone's
drug addiction
arguing
stuff
the
also.
value of the program. I don't think, no one here, no one on this board is arguing the value of the program. This is just a legal requirement that we want to have.
No, it's not. Just, and from
We have,
everything that I
as a board, we have the right to do that.
You didn't vote on that.
Yes, we did.
Do not vote on
We
that.
actually did. We asked for a contract, and that's what we asked for. If you want us to have a meeting, to have a resolution,
You
we're happy to do
decided
that.
that
But
after.
we wanted to move this along.
You
So
decided that.
We wanted to move this along.
You decided
So,
that.
Vicky,
You pulled it out of nowhere, and I was there.
It's all
and I was
about
at-
control.
Point of
I
order,
was
point
at
of
the
order.
Board of Health meeting
Point
when
of-
you lied to the Board of Health and said someone roped the county attorney. You said that at a Board of Health meeting. It was
Point
you,
of
Heather.
order.
Point
Okay.
of order. You're
So-
out of order. You're not
so-
being truthful or honest.
You can.
I would be happy to invite the member of the task force from the Board of Health here at our next meeting, so she can clarify
You're
what she was
sabotaging
told.
this whole thing.
So,
No,
and
You're
you-
gonna walk
that's
away.
not true.
we made a request to, we made a request to Attorney
Let it
for
go.
a contract.
The way that it's
Let it
written
go.
is, can we have the resolution contingent upon further documentation agreed by by stakeholders?
By the 2 parties, the county and that.
You already
if we
have
don't-
an
if we don't
MOU
agree, because
drafted.
what I'm concerned with is if they're gonna move forward and they spend money and we don't agree to the contract.
The balance, what we would love to see happen is like it being passed today, so no more time. However, on the contingency that you get the MOU back from us.
Okay, so what I.
That's fine with me.
That's-
My concern is an indemnification clause to protect the county in this.
Correct, that's my main concern.
And
So-
we're at the point now where we're happy to do it. We're working on it. The problem is the timeliness. Like we're not receiving what we need in timely fashion. And that's the fear is we continue to push off today. We are in that much more of a difficult
So my
position.
question for you is, are you comfortable if we do this, if it drags on? And my concern is your organization spending money and having delayed reimbursements. So that's why I wanted all.
Yeah, we're already over 100 hours into this, not including the in-kind money that Turning Point is
Okay.
willing to give.
So you're willing to take that risk that.
Well, I don't understand what you're saying.
So my question, I can't predict what the board's gonna do. They may get the contract and say, we don't like this language, this language, this language. So, and then it goes back to the attorneys, goes back to you guys, your attorneys, our attorneys. And it could, I'm just speaking from experience from the private sector, because I did contract negotiation in the private sector. So this is something that I've seen, and it's delayed funding. And that's my concern is if you have the impression that we're gonna give you this funding and it's delayed because government doesn't move fast. I don't wanna. I don't
It's
want you to
sitting
be
in the
harmed.
bank account
I
right
don't-
now.
I don't want you to be harmed.
To start it.
No, we are, and that's why I think Jessica spoke earlier about when Steve had said everybody's pulling out. That was because we had said we can't continue to put time, money, resources into this and just watch it sit around and nothing come to fruition. So yeah, that is a
And I
massive.
tried everything I could to get a document before this meeting so that we could vote this through and pass it.
Right.
And I was told to stay out of it. So I was trying.
So.
I am perfectly fine approving this resolution contingent upon getting a document
So
that
it's
protects us.
2 to 1 that it's approved. So
No, that's something.
Diane and Hobbs both approved it, you disapprove it, so
No,
it's
that's
approved.
not, excuse
haven't
me,
made a
sir, we haven't
formal
even voted
motion
on
yet.
that. So
Well,
please,
why
you're
are we
out of
still messing
order.
around with it?
You're out of order. We are
Move
discussing
on.
it right
Move
now.
on.
We're discussing it now. So Diane.
Move on.
So,
I would
No,
not,
there's, the time for public comment is over. If you continue to disrupt, we will be asking you to leave, okay?
Can I ask
So-
a question
Ma'am?
so that I understand what you're doing?
Okay.
Okay. It's been approved that if they send you a bill, you have to approve it before it's paid, correct, out of this $20,000?
We haven't approved anything yet.
No, I'm saying if they send you a bill, if you approve it without the contract, if they send you a bill, you have to approve it before it's paid,
See,
correct, out of
that's-
this $100,000?
No.
You make an excellent point. This is one of the reasons why I wanted a contract, so those stipulations are clear for both parties. So whatever we say at the board here is not, it's not legal. So if they have an expectation, if they send us a bill and we automatically approve it, and there's nothing in writing, then we're getting into an argument.
Why would you automatically approve it if you
That's,
didn't approve it?
that's my question.
they would, Patty, they would send the bills to the task force. The task force would say approved, not approved, approved, and then we would in turn turn that right over to the auditor, and we've approved the amount and circled it, and they will reimburse them. So it's on a drawdown. We're
None
not,
of that is in writing, and that is not the role of the task force. We have a resolution we passed last year about the role of the task force. The sole purpose of the task force is to provide recommendations to the
which we
board.
did.
Yes.
And now you're demanding all kinds of
I'm
stuff
not-
from us.
I'm not demanding anything. All I'm demanding is clarity, and there is no clarity. You're saying one thing, the resolution says another thing, and then the last application I got from you guys was $196,000, and we have a resolution for $100,000.
Because that's a starting point.
Based on what?
Oh, move on.
Move
Do what you want.
So Mr. Swanson, we can approve this contingent upon a document being adequate to the parties? Mr. Swanson?
What's that? No, you didn't answer my question, but that's okay.
You're doing good.
Well, we're trying, ma'am, we're trying. But I'm understanding that the oversight is not from the board. We just have to approve the funds.
There's an MOU circulating, so I would say, like, pass it contingent on getting that agreed to by all parties.
So that's okay to do, that we can verbalize that, even though that's not how the resolution is written, is that
We can
correct?
amend the resolution.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion that we amend the resolution H, SPV 072225C, approving award of $100,000 from Opioid Settlement Fund to Turning Point Evaluation, Inc., for administration of opioid task force project contingent upon MOU agreed upon by the stakeholders.
Should we do MOU/contract? Are they
Whatever-
gonna call it-
whatever
are they gonna call it
version you
MOU,
have.
or are they gonna call it
Don't be
contract?
ambiguous.
Or does it matter?
Just be specific.
It says MOU.
It says MOU. Okay.
Are we
fine.
able to put a timeline on this? Because that would make my fear.
Well, that's why it would be great to have a document that has a
MOU.
timeline that says we'll give you the cash right away, but we don't have that.
It's at their
It
attorney's.
is, I
account,
mean,
so
it
as soon as
has
we get it back
been
from there.
circulated many times.
Okay.
Okay.
They have, so we both have.
What timeline do you need?
Well, as soon as you feel
Like right
it's
away.
appropriate, within 2 weeks, I mean, is that unreasonable?
All right, the
No, I
next
don't
meeting.
think-
we'll
Especially
have
not
the
if we
M-
get it to you, signed by us within 2 days, and then you can decide.
So we'll
The sooner-
approve it
what-
today, and we'll have the MOU for the next meeting.
So what I'd like
How's
to
that?
see is if we get the MOU as soon as possible, send it to the board, and the board can give feedback to the county attorney.
Yeah, do we need another meeting?
No, I don't think.
No.
I don't think we need it.
That'll just delay
Let's
it.
just approve it today, contingent upon that,
Yeah,
and let's move on.
And if we have issues, then get it to that.
Then we'll sort it out.
We can sign it at the next meeting, and with that,
And we're comfortable saying like within the next 2 weeks, we will have an agreed upon. It's never, not ever, because right now you are waiting on us, but very rarely in this process has it been a waiting game on our end.
Right.
We've been working very quickly to get
Yeah.
you what you need.
Yeah.
So if y'all can agree that the 2 week timeline makes sense for everyone,
I think so.
thank you, okay.
Are you good?
I want to get you all the money as soon as we can. Let's get it moving.
Are you okay with that, Diane?
Yeah,
So there's a motion on the table.
So I'm just writing it down. Are you writing, are you just gonna?
it's contingent on
Contingent
all
on
parties having an MOU and agreement.
All party,
How about all related parties?
all,
Well, no, because you don't need to involve
Stakeholders.
those.
well, there's other stakeholders that won't be signatories to the contract. So contingent on all party agreement to the terms of the MOU. Is that, let me reread this. Let's see if this is what your motion is. Be it hereby resolved that the Madison County Board of Supervisors shall approve an award of $100,000 to Turning Point Evaluation for the administration of this project contingent on all party agreement to the terms of a MOU? Or is that?
MOU.
Is that?
That's it.
That's what's
MOU.
Okay,
Ended.
okay, so eliminate the dot there. Okay, does
Don't
that sound like what
complicate it.
you want?
Yeah.
Okay, do I have a second to that?
Second.
Okay, all in favor, please vote aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so we will get that to you as soon as possible, ma'am.
Thank you.
And my goal is less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So you have an answer and okay. All right, next item on the agenda is approving hiring of the building consultant for courthouse inspection after construction projects up to $10,000. This is something we've been talking about a lot since the courthouse finished last year. And we put it in the budget for up to $10,000, and I know you were tasked with finding somebody, and you want to speak to that?
Yes, I engaged with the building consultant, reviewed somewhat, given that I wasn't involved in that project, I tried to scour through the documents and get my hands around it, but I know there have been some noted concerns. I don't know what level of communication was provided from a representative from the county to the contractors regarding those concerns. This inspector, we can keep this cost down by providing him as much information as possible. I have shared the O&Ms with him, but what I would like, if possible, given Supervisor Stancil that you were on the board at this time, I would like you to be the one that engages with him with the walkthrough and providing some documentation. I have some of it, but it's all after the fact.
Okay. Did you meet with our buildings and grounds head on some of that stuff?
Yes, quite some time ago.
Okay.
Did you get 3 bids?
Nope.
That's law.
Okay.
Consultants need 3 bids? Consultants don't need 3 bids.
Well, this contract is walk and talk. $525 up to 2 hours on site with owner. Owner takes their own notes of the observations made. No report is issued. Travel time at an hourly rate is additional. You're gonna pay somebody up to $10,000 to find bad things that I don't even know nobody notices. This is a terrible waste of taxpayers' money that has been signed off on. It met industry specs and it's done.
You mean all the ones they had to redo, Diane?
They've redone them. And you wanna spend $10,000 of taxpayers' money, we're bleeding money.
Diane, this is something that I know you ran on because the people were sick of what was going on in the courthouse. And we've had multiple problems throughout that project. It took twice as long than it should have.
Well, COVID didn't help. Let's move on, you're gonna do what you're gonna do, so don't give a speech.
Well, you can give a speech. I guess you're the only one allowed to give speeches, Diane, I guess.
Gaslighting.
So, here's the thing, we need to have this done, and Diane, I believe you are misreading the contract. There are 2 options, the way I read it. These are the price points of the different things we can do, depending on what we wanna do. Since our limit is $10,000, it's gonna be limited to what we can do. Another thing, my understanding from, this company, what I've read, is they also have an engineer on staff, correct? So the engineer would come into play, and he'd be able to look at things that, more than just visual cosmetic stuff, okay? So, and Diane, you may or may not know this, but we've had people reporting issues already on some of the things in the courthouse. So I would like, in fact, we just had the steps.
We have an issue, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we have an issue on the phones. What's going on with the phones?
Yeah, the people on the phone seem to put their mics on mute because everybody can't hear because people at home are playing music.
Oh, well, someone put them on hold. Okay, so whoever's on the phone, can you please mute your phone? Is there a way you can find out who that person is who's putting on?
The issue is someone has this on hold on their end.
Yeah.
Turning on the hold music on the phone.
Is there a way to?
Why can't this hold mute the line?
Is there any way to mute the line, Matt?
Whoever's the host, mute the line.
Yeah, I'm getting texts too. that they-
And we don't have an IT person.
Actually, this is not the realm of the IT person. So.
I think it's time she leaves. Has to leave if she interrupts again.
On Teams. Yeah, there should be an option on the top right where you can.
We'll be with you shortly.
I don't see where this option Okay. I apologize for that. We're working on trying to see if we can mute that person that has the whole music on. So we're just gonna keep moving on. Okay. All right, so back to the discussion regarding the building consultant. So this is something we need to do quickly because the warranty expires in October. So we wanna make sure we get someone on here who has some knowledge and can find things. So we can A, document any issues, and B, if any of those issues can be resolved by warranty, we want to be able to do that.
That's right. I want this courthouse to be standing hundreds of years from now, and we have been very reactive in caring for that building. So I want to get a step forward on it.
Okay. All right, so refresh my memory now. Did we have a motion in a second yet, or we were just?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the hiring of the building consultant for courthouse inspection after construction project up to $10,000, which is the limit in our budget. That doesn't mean we have to spend that. Hopefully it costs less than that.
I will do that if you will get engaged with them and provide documentation as well, since I'm new to this.
Yeah.
So yes, so moved.
Is there a second? I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye. Aye. All opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. Okay, the next one is a second reading of amendment to ordinance. This is the solar ordinance. We passed the first reading last meeting. And we do 3 readings total whenever you do an ordinance amendment. So this is the second reading. I'll entertain a motion to approve that. So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Oh, any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, declaring vacancy in the office of county auditor to be filled by special election. We did have a objection filed. Correct? Someone said they filed an objection with the county auditor this morning. So there is an objection filed within, it's within the 5-day working day requirement. The last 5th day is Thursday. So an objection has been filed, so now we have to impanel a meeting of some sort. I think the members are the county auditor, the county treasurer, and the county attorney to review the objection and decide whether or not we can move forward with a special election. Since an objection has been filed, that has to be done within the 5-day period, so we have to have them meet no later than Thursday. So at this point, because of an objection under Iowa Code 331.306, it's not valid until this committee clears it.
Isn't that a conflict? How can the auditor be on the panel
This is code.
about his own job?
Well, here's the thing, is he can't be on the panel, so we have to replace him. So that is replaced by the chair.
And there's no treasurer.
Well, technically, she's the acting treasurer since we've had our other treasurer officially resign. So yes, Michaela?
Hey, this is half true and half not true. The objection was specifically related to the validity of the appointment because the person who objected wanted to ensure that it was done legally, and I think that we have all established that he was legally appointed, therefore the petition should be legally accepted based off of every single auditor I have talked to. I have talked to multiple around the state. Regardless of if the board had a mess up, that burden does not fall on the people.
So Michaela,
And
just to clarify.
it doesn't matter, and the petition does not delay a special election being started. It goes to review by 3 people. They vote on it. A petition does not automatically block it from being started
No, the
until
question,
it is not addressed.
if you can clarify. So under Iowa Code, it says that a petition is valid on its face unless an objection is filed. So if an objection is filed, do we not have to clear that in order to accept the validity of the?
It is
of the petition?
considered accepted and valid until the contestation is actually addressed and a decision is made.
Okay, so
So
when do
it
we
does
address
not
that?
stop
Can we
the
address
special
that?
election. Yes, you can address that, but that does not mean that it delays anything. It is still considered valid until it is determined by the board that addresses the objection that it is not valid.
Okay,
So
so
it still
we can
goes
still
forward.
call an election
Yes,
even though an objection is filed?
yes.
Okay, because that's not how the code reads.
What part are you looking at?
If the objection was.
The objection does not invalidate the petition.
No, that's not the question. The question is that when can we call the special election? So.
You can call it now. I've talked to multiple auditors.
Okay, I'm just reading the code, all right? So that's what I wanted to find out. I wanted clarification on that.
But the objection was to the appointment, not the signature.
So the objection was not to the signatures. The objection was that they were worried that there were legal issues around the petitions because of.
Okay, so
this
even
appointment.
though because we resolved that here, that's considered resolved and we can move forward, we don't have to stop it. on
I think that
our
that's
code?
probably up for discussion with the board, which is the county attorney and the treasurer, and if the person who submitted their objection based off of the appointment date wants to rescind that, I think that would also be fine. But
Is she still
considering, I don't know, but considering that the board has addressed the appointment issue, I
just don't, I
can
wanna
say
make sure we
fairly
don't.
confident that it's going to be
I
valid.
wanna make
with
sure
the
we have
appointment
absolutely
date.
no one coming back and complaining about this. So,
I don't think there's an issue with setting an election date today, and then if the objection was valid, then we could say that the signatures are valid and then cancel the election, but setting the date today seems like the most reasonable course of action.
okay.
So like just say, we're accepting the petitions, we understand there's an objection, that will get reviewed within the 5-day period.
Okay.
And withstanding any objections that are sustained, then the election will be set, I think it was August 26th was the date that was discussed.
And that's what's on the resolution, yeah.
Right, so that would be the best course of action, and then I've read the objection, I don't think it'll be, I mean, it says that it's based on him being appointed today. So-
Right.
So that's the.
Right, okay. I just didn't know, because in the code,
But
it
we'll
just
get
said.
together and discuss it and discuss the validity of it.
Because in the code, it said, valid unless an objection is filed, and I want to know, does an objection, even if the objection is no longer applicable, do we still have to, are we still required to impanel this group in order to toss it? Or can we just
Toss the objection.
toss the objection now? That's my concern, is what the code says.
Well, we can still meet before the 5-day deadline and determine, but it doesn't, you can set the election today, so it's not delayed by 2 weeks until the next board.
Right.
Well, we wouldn't delay it for 2 weeks, we'd have a special meeting to fix this. So, no, we're not gonna do that. Okay, so if you're comfortable with that, then, and you have no problem with us passing this today?
Hang on a second, somebody's asking to hang up and call back in again.
What? Oh, well, I don't,
Because it keeps everybody out and have a recall.
yeah, because then we have to take every.
Hold and stay off.
Okay, so folks, the question was asked to those who are on the phone, as I know this hold music is very annoying, and I apologize on behalf of whoever that is, but the board is considering hanging up to clear that line, and then have you guys call back in. Is there any objection to that? Yes, please?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, do it, hang on.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and hang up, and we're gonna wait a few minutes, and you guys call back in, okay?
Thanks, Michaela.
Welcome to the audio conferencing center. Please enter a conference. You are now joining the meeting.
It also exists, you would even know.
Let me know when you see it.
conferencing center. Please enter a conference ID followed by pound.
You want to see it.
If you're the meeting organizer, press star now. You are now joining the meeting.
The call still exists because you're not logging in as the administrator. So the call still exists. No one hung up. You have to log in as the
We
admin.
didn't log in as the administrator, it
You
just
have to.
automatically does it. At least,
You have to push star to log in as the admin and then boot everyone off and the lines. The call still exists. Just because you hung up doesn't mean everyone else did.
well, it's a Teams call, so if we hang up, it does. Yeah.
No, because you're not logging in as the admin. You're just another, you're just,
Welcome to the audio.
whoever the admin is on Teams can view all lines. Can you use Teams all day?
You are now joining the meeting.
I mean, they can stay on there, you can exactly listen.
No, they can stay here. We're hearing this whole music, that means the team's not like it's right around here. So no one's on. Somebody on it.
Somebody's got their whole phone on. No, I think this is not.
It should have disconnected.
These guys.
Is there a way to fix it? That's what we're looking
Thank you for holding. We'll be with you shortly.
I propose we call it.
I can end the meeting for everybody. I have to
You would propose we,
I propose we call it a 10-minute recess so we can straighten this out.
I can end the call for everybody and everyone has to dial back in.
I'm sorry?
That's fine with me.
All right.
End the call for everybody and they'll have to dial back in.
That's what we did, we done it twice already.
No, everyone gets off the call.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody. You have to end the call for everybody, and then they all call back in.
No, we did that.
But you recommended too.
Yeah, I did.
Tech support. What's in the building?
Okay, so Matt? And that could be why it's all right, we're gonna call a 10-minute recess for, we can figure out the technical stuff, so you guys can take a break and we'll be back in 10 minutes.